Hello, welcome to episode 134 of We Have Issues. I'm Anthony.
And I am Stevie Wildcard.
And every week, Stevie Wildcard and my best friend and I get together and we take all of the issues that life throws our way and we make our issues feel like they have a chance of winning this life-changing contest.
I mean, these issues completely stacked in the top 10 of all issues.
Top 10 issues. We stack the top 10 issues. We're like, you're in there, buddy. You have a chance of being number one. And then we make them feel like they could do it. And you know what, Steven? We already have the winning issue in mind. It's not our issue. It's not the No. So every week, Steve Wildcard and I get together and we do our best to overcome various issues and obstacles, and we make comic books together. You know, we've been trying to do this since we were in high school. Actually, I recently had a memory on Facebook of one of our very first ever. I'll put a picture of it here. Pseudo Samurai. I think it was, what did it say, 13 years ago?
Oh yeah, it was so long ago.
It was so long ago, but I posted it 13 years ago. But yeah, so we've been trying to do this forever. Recently, we actually started trying again, and we made our first book, and then it was successful. We made a second book, it was successful. And Steven, we're on our third book. It only has a few days left on Kickstarter. Deathless issue 2. How are you feeling about it,
dude? This Kickstarter has been beyond incredible. I mean, it's nuts. I mean, it surpassed Play It Again in backers, which is freaking an amazing goal.
I can't, dude. I hate it because I feel successful. Just like the fact that anyone shows up, the fact that anyone wants the book, the fact that people actually are interested in reading it and want to support us at all. Super, like it really means everything to us, and it does. Like it feels so good to know that we have that support. That being said, Steven, I feel like a failure unless we hit certain milestones in my stupid brain.
Be Anthony. Yeah, to be Anthony. And I know you mean this in the most suffering way possible. Like you don't want to be this way.
No,
it's
hate this, Steven. I hate my brain. Because everyone else would be like, here's an obvious metric of success. You met your goal in the first day. You should feel really good about this. And I'm like, yeah, that's there. But you know what else happens is I want more. I have Veruca salt. I have a Veruca salt in my body and it wants more and it wants it now. But I get but I have this divine ambition. I'm just I have too much. I have too much. But mostly what happens is I know we're capable of getting this particular thing. And I understand that there was an extra force of, support with our first book. There, that happens often with people. It's like, this is your first attempt at doing this thing. People show up and they're like, oh, look at these kids. Let them, we talked about that recently. And it's like, I knew that was going to happen. What I was afraid of and what I'm I'm just I don't want to see happen is I'm terrified of patterns and negative patterns and a spiral. That's what if we could avoid that, even if it means nothing, and that's the thing, it probably means nothing. Just because you're on a roller coaster isn't indicative of going down forever. You don't know it's gonna be up, down, up, down. It's a whole journey, and I'm aware of this.
It's the Contra cheat code,
Yes.
I mean, it's gonna happen.
It really is. But that's how. But what happens is when I see our first Kickstarter starts off with $5,700 and 108 backers, and I was like, yes, we can do this. Our second one, hopefully, will get more people. If you read the first book, hopefully you want to read the second one. Our Deathless issue 1 didn't have as many backers, and we made slightly less money. So I was like, okay, we're starting here. Now we went here. I was like, okay, if we go here, my brain can't take it. My body will die a little more inside, and I did it's so much harder to stay motivated, and I wish I could just be like, that means I just have to do more, work hard. But I already feel those things. I'm already I'm stretching myself out. I am burning my candle at every end. I'm trying my best to get this book out to people, and I think we're making the best book we could possibly make. When I look at these pages that we're working on, I'm just this is the coolest thing we've ever worked on, I think. I love this book and I love this story and the characters, and I think people really like it, and everyone who's read issue 1 really likes it. So I'm just what more can I do that I haven't done? I will feel such a failure if it keeps going down, That being said, I'm sorry, I'm naturally long-winded and emotional. But Steven, the fact that more people have shown up now for this book than our second book means we went like this, and it is wonderful. I mean, like that feels so good. I just like I can't thank everyone enough for showing up.
And it's easy to subtract the monetary difference because like a lot of our family, like of course the cool like cool is such a horrible like it makes it sound like I'm separating them, but the people that aren't necessarily interested.
There are people in the colony and they're fakers. Get out. No, I'm kidding. No, we need you.
Poser.
So
when everyone else was drinking that horrible dirt flavored Kool-Aid, they were sipping cherry. They were sipping on that cherry. They knew. But no, like
what Steven's referring to is that we've been trying to make a cult since like episode 1 of this podcast. We're gonna have an ostrich cult. There's going to be a specific type of Kool-Aid that may or may not be mostly dirt because of the ostrich theme. You're going to bury your head in that particular sand.
The sand plus the way their feet touch the sand. Every cup of Ostrich Colony Kool-Aid has sand shake from a very ostrich. So it's earthy. Okay. People pay top dollar for truffles. So I mean, ostrich dirt.
True. It's worth it. Like we're building a colony together and you're all part of it. And if you didn't want to be, we're sorry, but welcome. But yeah, dude, it's been crazy. It's just thankfully, we had that huge turnout in our first book, and it was a little discouraging to see like a less of a turnout in the second book. But this has been like a crazy wild ride for this third for Deathless issue 2. It's still live. It's going to be live for another couple of days if when you're seeing this. So if you haven't backed it, go hit the link below, and we really we would love you and appreciate you. So every episode what we do is we talk about what we've done like with the comic book for a minute, and then we just get into some stuff that's been pestering me usually. Like I try to ask Steven every episode. I'm like, Steven, what would you like to talk about?
Yeah, I'm just like, my life is dandelions and happiness, baby. So whatever you need to talk about.
Every episode, Steven's like, we can talk about how great my life is, and I'm just like, yeah, if everyone wants to see me die even more inside. I'm kidding. I'm so glad. I'm so happy for you. Yeah. So every episode, we talk about what we've done. We talk about some things that have been happening in usually in my life, but in our lives, and go through that journey, and then we talk about what we're gonna do next week. So for now, Steven, how did we do this week? How did you do?
I finished the page I sent you, which looks amazing per you.
Total success. Like your page looks gorgeous. Like I absolutely love
I like the walls, right? Did that like kind of convey properly?
Oh, yeah.
That's like what I was like.
Like I we're kind of getting to the point where we're at a loss. Like I don't want to like spoil a whole book here, and I feel like we're getting to the point now, and just letting everyone know that like we're not going to be sharing full pages as often, if we do. But I think we can share this one. It's like a nice like the reveal that you see in this is basically the cover of the book, or it's part of the cover of the book. So it's no real spoilers. You see Brian on this throne of video game console, or arcade, systems, and it's just Steven. It looks awesome. And like I had a moment where it's like when I was looking at the page and I was like, do we focus on the back of Douglas's head a lot? And I know that, and I'm just like, but the thing is, I kind of like that we do it because it's so unconventional. Like I understand not a lot of comic books would do that, but it is, you can imagine like the cinematic pan of that moment, and I think you catch it in the right area, and I think it works, and I do like it. I like what we're doing.
It's so funny because I think that all the time. I'm like, man, we see the back of this guy's head a lot, and typically I feel like in a comic book there would be some sort of like completely full-bodied pose or something like that.
But we keep it natural, and like it's very cinematic and like realistic. And that being said, like you are especially so good at creating these like dynamic panel layouts that like can only be done in comics. Like you do a lot of fun stuff that can only exist in our medium. So like it's fun. We kind of like juggle all sorts of like cool like storytelling.
I also kind of like that perspective of Douglas because it almost gives you that it's not first person, but that third person over the shoulder video game feel. You know what I'm talking about? Like when you play like a Resident Evil 4 or something like that, like it puts you more into it. I feel like like you're actually like riding the roller coaster with Douglas, like you are Douglas, So like, I don't know. Honestly, one of my favorite things on that page, and it's one of the simple things, is his expression when he's looking over with the torch. Like his eyes are all like it just looked really clean, and I liked it. I was like, oh, that's awesome. Looks good.
Dude,
of course, Brian with the knights.
Oh yeah, I mean these pages are looking gorgeous. Like I just finished coloring. Like this week, I was supposed to finish coloring all the pages I had, and I did. And I finished coloring the page with the. So in the book, they're in an arcade, and it's like a Dungeons and Dragons inspired, arcade. And there are these stuffed animals with like John Carpenter esque like spider legs coming out of them and like monster mouths, and they attack Douglas. And I got to color it, and it's just so cool. Like it looks so, like as I was coloring, I was like, oh, I can play with different colors. I don't just have to use like blood color. I can use like green and like make this like pop. And it was like
vibrant. Yeah,
it looks so like I love it. So I love that page so much. And I just like I just want to keep sharing it. It's like everyone look at this. It's so cool. This is something we did.
I think all the spiders look cool, but like even though it's the smallest one and it's furthest in the background, I love how the one teddy bear, it just like the spider bursted out like from the bottom completely. Yes. So it's just like a whole teddy bear, almost like a centaur spider. Like it's,
oh yeah, it's pretty cool, dude. I've been having so much fun doing this art, and one of my favorite things is while I do it, while I color, your amazing pages, I get to listen to stuff, which is like I always forget like how much fun that is to do. So, dude, I've been listening to Two Monsters Rolling Dice, this like role playing podcast. It is so freaking good, and like it's one of those things that like I didn't realize how fast I was burning through it, because like it takes me a while to color. I was coloring on my tablet for a while. Now I'm coloring like with the mouse, because it's almost faster just to do the click around thing, like just like because you don't get in your head. I feel like when I color with the pen, sometimes I'll sit there and I'll just start coloring like in real time and enjoying my coloring.
When you could be filling and stuff.
I could be filling fast. Like, yeah, so like I got to the point where I'm like, I'm just gonna do this with the mouse, but like I've been burning through it. Like, if you're interested in role-playing podcasts at all, if you listen to Critically Stupid and you enjoy what we do over there, go check out Two Monsters Rolling Dice, because they have like this amazing sound design where like all this like beautiful music and like cool like atmospheric like background noises and stuff. And I don't know, I like, it's one of those things where like I listened to the show and I immediately was impressed by these people, and I was like, I want to be friends with all of them. They're so good at what they're doing. It's crazy. But I've been tearing through that. And I don't know, it got me like on this like ball of like, oh wait, there are so many other people out there doing cool stuff like what we're doing, because it's like I have this D&D podcast, and like I should probably explore more role-playing podcasts. So I did that, and like I was like exploring there, and then like you pointed me to this one of our friends on Twitter who does art that I didn't realize did such amazing art, and they did a piece of you.
Yes. Oh my God, I believe it. I apologize if I pronounce this wrong, but I believe it's at Kamorian King. And my hair was the inspiration, and this artwork is friggin' legendary. I mean, I wish I looked half as good as this artwork, but like,
first of all, you look twice as good as that artwork, although it's gorgeous. It's amazing, immaculate. I have never been more jealous than I am of getting just the coolest I don't know if you call it fan art, but it's come on, that's incredible. It's fanning your hair art. Like, that's amazing. That like it's beautiful. And so anyway,
it's just legendary. It's legendary status, man.
It's just so cool, dude. Like I love that, we're obviously, we get kind of trapped in the minutia of working on our own projects. So it's like it's nice to see our friends and like meet new people who are doing things. And then like people like Jackson Howl, who like, congratulations, Jackson, on releasing your story, The Colony. It's first of all, I started reading it, and it's really awesome. I love the world as it's getting set up. I can't wait to finish it. If you're interested in reading Jackson's, it's like a post-apocalyptic sort of pandemic-y story. But I will post the link below. It's very good, and you should check it out as soon as possible.
Especially, I believe it's included with Kindle Unlimited, and I think it's only 99 cents.
Yeah,
and it's only 99 cents if you don't have Kindle Unlimited, so it's totally worth $1. Like, just go throw them $1 and read this amazing story by like our awesome friend.
Yeah. So, Jackson's been a longtime friend of the podcast and just a general, friend to us. And it's just, we really appreciate him. So, if you want to just go check out his book, buy a copy, buy 17 copies, buy a copy for your grandma. It's a good Christmas present. I don't know if it is. I don't know. Like, if I got it, I'd be happy, but no one buys me anything, Steven. I don't know. You buy me stuff.
I want him to write more like of the story, so that way it can be printed. Because I think 27 pages is probably just under for Amazon print, but like I'm so excited because that artwork too looks so cool. That cover looks so awesome. Like it completely just creates this entire vibe going into it. So
okay, Steven. That's a lot of love. And I'm gonna tell you, I've been holding back just all this like petty vitriol. Like I'm like, I didn't want to start with it. I didn't want to like come out of the gate and be like, let me be negative real quick. Like I did a little in the intro, and I was like, ooh, gotta hold that back. I gotta build to that because it's not because like I don't want to.
I just imagine Charlie doing that, like, you know, when he's like singing, like he's like singing that thing in his head to like keep.
So I was Steven. I had a moment where I was like, I was upset, and I was like, this is my villain era, Steven. It's about to happen. It's about to pop off. I'm going dark, Antoine. It's about to happen.
You're becoming me.
So I'm gonna, no, I'm not gonna say that thing. I was gonna say I'm gonna pee in someone's bed and drag him in. I'm gonna drag.
That is quite the callback, Lucas. I'm sorry, but continue.
I'll cut it out.
No, you can leave it in. I don't care.
Lucas, I'm sorry.
When I was like 8, I spent the night at my friend's house. I accidentally peed to bed. And instead of owning up to it, I left him in it and made it look like I left because he peed to bed. It's a horrible thing I did. I regret it. But I wasn't.
I was going to cut it out. But the more you talk, the more I have to leave it in.
Listen, he's okay. Or maybe he's lived an entire.
He's 100% Buscemi right now. He has lipstick and a list of people he's gonna murder. He's just like, you were on there, but if he's gonna watch this podcast and crush,
it's just my name like 10 times written in yellow. Like,
one of them is Stephen John. Just like when
Stephen John. I know your aliases.
Okay.
But like, it was a horrible decision. But I was 8. Forgive me. I've changed. Now when I pee, I own up to it.
I pee to bed, I don't
blame Tina. I just let her know, hey, peed to bed again.
Did it again.
It might have happened.
Okay, so it might have happened. Okay, so I'm gonna let everyone know. Like, let me give you some context. So recently I submitted for a screenwriting contest, and it was like Kevin Smith hosted the screenwriting contest, and it was like a comedy short. And I was like, you know what? I'm gonna try. I'm gonna write this thing. I'm gonna do it, and I did. And I wrote it, and I actually got in the top 10 of this, and I was like, I freaking did. I got the top 10 of a thing, you know, like that's amazing. So I went on their like Discord, and they were like, yeah, the top 10 finalists are gonna be, you know, like discussed, and you all, you know, the top 10 finalists have a chance at this thing. We're gonna announce the winner live, and you know, so we're all like, this is cool, okay. So today's the day, and the live thing comes, and as it starts, they're like, the finalists are in the green room, and I'm looking around like, this is my room. And I was like, am I not maybe I'm not, oh no. And you know, of course it dawns me right. I'm like, oh, I see what they did here. They suckered us in. They wanted us to come watch their thing, and they already have the, you know, the people and the winners, and they already talked to them, and they know what's happening. And so I was like, all right, well, good for them. I didn't expect to win anyway, but I don't like the way this is handled, and I don't know how to express that without also feeling extra petty. You know, it's like, because what it is like, I didn't actually expect to win, first of all. No. I mean, you know, like what I hoped though is that because they announced to us directly several times, they were like top 10, top 10, top 10. And then when we get in there, like the top 5 finalists, and we're like, oh, wait a second. Like, we're all here, you know, and like, look,
why didn't you just say it was the top 5 finalists the whole
Why didn't you just say this? And here's the thing, to make matters more frustrating for those of us who showed up without that information. It began as it was what felt like just like a timeshare sale. Like they're like, this is our website and it's good for you and you should be a part of this and blah blah blah. And we're like, we already signed up for your thing and we're already here. And like what you're trying to do now is create a commercial while you have Kevin Smith on the camera so you can talk about your thing, and you know it's just like, okay, but I don't like the way you did this, and it's hurting my feelings that you like the subterfuge, you know, like the duplicitous nature of this contest. I don't appreciate it. Anyway, that being said, what this like, I'm gonna try Steven. I'm getting out. I'm gonna get out of this. I'm like, what? That being said, what I walk away with is the knowledge that if I want to, I can write a freaking screenplay in like a day. Right. That's pretty
Absolutely.
cool. I was like, that's pretty cool. I was like, if I really put my mind to it, I can write something that's worth reading that a lot of people enjoy in like a day. Like like a readable, like sure, maybe it needs to be punched up, but you know what? A readable, shootable script, and when that was, I'm happy about that. I'm proud of that. That situation. What I also have is the opportunity to now forever say that I was in the top 10 of a Kevin Smith film writing, screenwriting contest. I can always say that.
Going on the resume.
I'm not lying. It's on my resume from now on. I don't care what job I'm applying for. I'm like, listen here, 7-Eleven. I was on the top 10 of the screen. Like I mean, who better to work at a convenience store than someone who was a loser at a screenwriting contest?
4 touchdowns in a single game. So I mean,
but yeah, so the knowledge of my superpower, ability to write this thing, the opportunity to put a top 10 screenwriting, contest winner on or like finalist on my resume. I also have the fact that so many people showed up to read the script and say cool things about it in kind words and really offer support in that way. Is like that really meant a lot. That being said, Steven, I'm mad at Kevin Smith right now. I'm so mad at Kevin Smith right now. Like I love him and I need him to come on our show and tell me he loves me because I'm sad. I don't.
You tell me that you loved every word of Stakeout, K-Dog. Okay,
come on, K-Dog. No, it's like it was funny. But see, I've been just generally having a life in forever. Like you guys know this. Everyone who watches this is just like, oh wow, Anthony he lives a life over there. Like I don't know. Like I feel like I'm trying.
I don't know how else to describe it, but it is a life. It's a life that's going on.
It's a life. So let me tell you, like, okay, just of all the things, like, like, I just don't want to pile it on, but like all the things that happen, like, imagine for a second, right, that you have a best friend and you're like my best friend, let's just call him Steven with a V, Steven. Let's say Steven is like, I'm gonna meet you. We're gonna meet you for some pizza. And I was like, yes. And I'll give you the comics, Steven, because you do this. We're best friends. We make comics together. I'll give you the comics. You can ship them off people. This is gonna be amazing. We're gonna spend time and drink beers and have fun, have conversations. And then when Steven with a V shows up, he's just like, so I have news. I have good news and bad news. The good news is we have like 30 minutes together. The bad news is after those 30 minutes, strangers are going to show up and they're going to be my friends more than you. And I'm not going to love you anymore. And then I'm just kidding. I'm
this Steven with a V sounds like a complete douche.
Steven and I, so I finally get to see Steven and we go out, we go out to Nice Guys Pizza, which is phenomenal, by the way. So we go out to Nice Guys Pizza and like Steven and Tina break this news to me just like really quickly, like, ooh, we're gonna rip this Band-Aid off real quick. There are people that are coming and it was like being told that like there's a tsunami, it's like being told like listen, you're gonna hear the alarms and you're not gonna have time to run. Like, I'm sorry. And I'm just like, wait, you can't spring people on me, Steven, on people who need to know the parking situation.
But you handled the people so well. It was fine.
I know. I know. Like internally, I died. No, I was fine. I was fine. It was
your
good.
Performance was fantastic. If that's the performance you're going to give in Stakeout, I am not worried at all.
Oh man, Steven, it was fun though. Like it was like like we got to talk and it's like Tina always cracks me up.
And we got to eat awesome tater tots after already being buzzed and eating pizza, and it was like second meal.
That's true. Oh man, yeah, tater tots. It's such a
their tater tots are so crunchy. I can't explain to you all, but nice guys. Fantastic pizza. It is a pizza place, but they also have awesome appetizers. Yeah. And one of them is super crunchy tater tots with a flight of sauces, like 6 or 7 house-made sauces, and they're really great.
They're not a sponsor, but they will.
Nice guys.
Nice guys, dude. So, but being out there and being the basic fifth wheel of that situation, just reminded me. I was just like, Steven, I don't actually want to be in a relationship right now. Like, it's funny. Like, I don't mind stuff like that. But I do occasionally in those situations. I'm reminded. I'm just like, oh man, boy, do I randomly get lonely. And I'm just like, what do I what do you do? What do you do with that information? Because like, I don't want to subject anyone to this. I don't want to subject anyone to whatever nonsense is going on in my this. Like no,
there's a lot going on here. And
there's a lot going on here. Like,
I mean, I would buy that all you can eat buffet any day of the week, but
like but I don't know, like it's so hard to convey to people, listen, what I really want is I just want someone to get a few drinks with who like has like a mutual attraction with me. We like have like a fun time, joke around, like make each other laugh, maybe like end up making out or something. I don't know, like I don't know how to convey, like because I don't like, it's so weird because if you go on like Tinder and you're like, this is what I want, I just want to hook up, like that's not really, I don't really want to just like go to your house and see your guy on the couch or whatever. I don't really want that. I kind of want to date, like I kind of want to like go out and like have like a fun time. Like I just want to have like fun like friendship encounters, but like without the
how do you word I want to casually date people, but I'm not doing it just to hook up, and I'm not looking for a serious relationship. However, dating someone could potentially lead to either of those things, but I'm just not really putting my talent points in either one of those things.
Yeah. And I think that's the thing. I think it's like a matter of opportunity cost, where I think like if you go out there and you're just like, look, it's like you can't just like dip your toe in. You have to, like take that leap of faith and into whatever, abyss you want to take it into. And it's like, look, I'm here to hook up. And because then you're going to attract the people who are interested in hooking up. Or if you're like, I'm here for a relationship, you're going to attract the people who are on a relationship. But like, if you're in this weird, like nebulous, like region where it's like, look, I'm not completely opposed to something developing. I'm a human person, like it's possible, like and like traditionally, historically, I've been like a monogamous romantic person, so it's like I want, like I have wanted that. Right now, I'm not really in that place. Right now, I'm in like I don't know. I'm probably just like too thirsty for my own good. I'm just like, I know I like what I'm doing. I like being productive and making things. I like going out to open mic night and like hanging out by myself and like talking to friends. And like, I just want like a cute friend, but I guess that's what a girlfriend is anyway. So I'm just like, crap.
I mean, Tina's my best friend, so
I mean, her
with you, obviously.
Inside. I mean,
it hurts.
It hurts.
I was gonna say though, the reason why you're so thirsty, and like I should have warned the people in the colony, like unfortunately the ostrich Kool-Aid is a diuretic, so it like kind of like expels water, almost like a coffee or a tea. Probably from the earthy tones brought on by the ostrich feet.
That's very true.
So I think all that ostrich aid you're drinking possibly could be leaning towards this. I mean, it could also be that you haven't touched yourself in over 40 days, but okay, you should block out the word touch just so it sounds like fuck. Like that's what would be.
It's Steven. Okay, but like being in that situation, I found myself back on like Tinder, just like swiping randomly and being like, all right, well, I don't know what I want, but I'm gonna look. And Steven, I just want to, just before we drop this, I have to point this out. I talked about it briefly on Twitter, but I have to say this. I saw more than one person write, I'm looking for my lobster. And like, I know, I watched Friends growing up. I know Friends. I understand that they're making a reference to Friends because Phoebe says that, lobsters mate for life. And they, two old lobsters could be found holding claws and, in their graves or whatever. And like, but Steven, here's the thing. People are quoting that as if it's true. Like you can't be like, okay, that's like saying, Steven, that's like saying, I want to find my duck. Because some TV show was like, oh, ducks make sweet, sweet love to each other. It's gentle. It's wonderful. Nothing brutal at all. There's no way there's a screw-shaped penis that's just barreling in there like relentlessly. No, that's not happening. It is like, it's roasted,
it's graceful,
soft music,
like a swan.
Like no, it's not. You can't, just because a TV show says that, you can't now create this like lore and myth around ducks. No, lobsters.
We know about lobsters.
No, here's the Steven. If I look on a Tinder profile and it says I am looking for my lobster, what I assume they want, what I read in my dumb brain is that they want someone to eat them pee in their face, and like, and by the way, Steven, lobsters don't mate for life. You know what they do? They are only in a committed relationship for 2 weeks, which sounds a lot like Tinder, to be honest with you. It's like, oh, we're gonna text
so they're looking for their 2-week fix.
They're looking for their 2-week fix and probably some pee in their face. And that's what I read when I see you're looking for your lobster. I'm just like, that's what it is. So
it basically like lays down their kinks and their expectations for you all in one fell swoop.
I'm just saying,
lobster.
If that's what they're after, super smart, very concise. I respect their game. If it's not, and they are trying to reference friends, bad move. But yeah, dude, I don't know. So like, I see stuff like that, and like, I have my own like silly profile, and I'm like, I don't know, if people like me, we'll talk and I'll have weird conversations, and we'll see, we'll see where it goes. But I don't know. I don't like. I like what I'm doing. I'm just frustrated for probably very specific reasons, and I feel like I'm going to get over that hill and just like continue to be productive, and we'll see. Like it's just like an ongoing process. But right now I'm in the middle of my Josh Hartnett era, and I'm like, I'm working through it, Steven.
This is gonna end with you looking at the last sunset and blowing away to ash, isn't it?
Steven, now, okay. So why is it when Josh Hartnett wasn't touching himself, he lasted 40 days and then found the love of his life or whatever, and he was happy. Now, otherwise, when he had to succumb to the thirst, he became a vampire and died in 30 days. I mean, he didn't make it. He turned to ash.
He didn't even make it. Honestly, if I'm not mistaken, Anthony, that movie is day 1 of the 30 Days of Night, where the vampires actually come out, right?
That's true.
How long did it? It's not day 30. He doesn't make it long at all. He's just like, I need to become one of them to last. That doesn't make any sense, Josh.
No, it does. I mean, and I think for those of you who haven't seen 30 Days of Night, it's pretty cool. It's a really fun. It's like a great concept. Alaska has 30 Days of Night. Vampires show up because they're like, oh yeah, look at this. We can feed for 30 days. Genius. So smart. Josh Hartnett turns into a vampire to fight the vampires, which is really cool in theory. But then it's like, well, now you're a vampire, Josh Hartnett. Like, why don't you can become Blade. You can go around, just fight. There are other vampires. Like, if there are vampires, they came here. So that's not the last of the vampires, right? Like, there's no chance. They like, those are just.
Well, how many vampires are? How many? Like, okay, like imagine this. Okay, you and me, we live in Florida. Okay, we avoid Universal because we know there's just gonna be so many people there, right?
Oh yeah.
So like, we want to go there, and we go there when we can find the least amount of people showing up there, right?
Yes.
But like, if you're a vampire, I feel like the 30 Days of Night in Alaska is definitely like the Burning Man or the Woodstock of vampirism.
And
they don't want to go there because
there are only 50 people in Alaska at the time. How hungry? It's like how much food are you gonna really get? There should be a lottery system where somebody wins, like, oh, you get the 30 Days of Night in Alaska this year.
Yes, and one vampire.
It's just one vampire tears up. Yeah, I mean, otherwise, it's kind of like going to like your work office and someone just brings a single dozen donuts and you're like, how do we split this between everyone? Well, we all get half a donut. I don't want half a donut. Which donut? Like,
not only how, I was gonna say not only that, but they're assorted. There's only 2 of each kind. What if I want powdered also?
So now I get a fourth of a donut because those 3 guys want that. Like, no, I want a full donut. What is this? This is not acceptable. So I don't know. Like, I can't imagine like splitting the human donuts among the vampires. That would be, like they'd probably argue and bicker and be this. That might be a funnier show. Like I would like to watch from the vampires' perspective if they didn't, just speak their vampire language and just words.
Their version of the show. It's like the flip, right? Their movie, One Day of Night. Yep, we're all gonna get here. Everything's gonna be gone by the first. It's like you can eat buffet that never gets replenished. So we're just gonna go here. And it's like the annoyed dad driving on vacation with like the kids in the back.
We're almost there.
Yay, we're almost there. We're gonna drink and then like get there and Wally World's closed. Like there's only
and then you only eat the John Candy, but you have to make it last.
Yeah. Oh, you have to make it suck them slow.
Steven, that again, listen, Steven, it's been over 40 days for me. Please watch your language. But yeah, Steven, I'm working through it. Well, I'm sure I will update people as my, my silly situations progress and such. But, it's fine. I've been okay. I don't need to date or anything like that. I'm just struggling to live my life and I want everyone to know that I'm miserable all the time. No, I'm just kidding. I'm fine. I'm fine. I'm going through some stuff because of this screenwriting contest. That's what it is. I'm blaming Kevin Smith. Um, but
Damn
so
it, K-Dog.
how dare he? How dare he? We've been trying to get him. We've been courting him on this podcast. We've been trying to get him for a long time, and he just has not shown up for us yet. He will. He will. He's going to be on our podcast eventually. But Steven, every week we talk about the random nonsense that we experienced and go through and what we've done. And then we talk about, just for a second, what are you going to do this week? What are you going to work on?
I've already started the next page, which I believe is page 9. So I'm already working on the overhead shot, which is probably going to be, for me, the more difficult panel because it's like perspectives and weird stuff and stuff I don't usually draw. Right. But I've already actually started that panel, so I can actually send you that tonight so you can
Very
see it.
Cool.
But yeah, so I'm just going to work page 9. I already shipped the things off that you had asked me to ship. I'm just waiting on one more print so that way I can send everything to Patricia. She's gonna love all of that.
I'm so happy that people are showing up for these books still, and like it's nice that things have, you know, a life after Kickstarter. You know, I think that's kind of like part of the fear where it's like, oh well, what if like after Kickstarter, you know, Kickstarter needs to be so successful because then like it's gonna teeter off, right? But it's like we still have the conventions, we still have people like showing up on the website and making these orders, and it's really cool. So this week I'm going to color all of page 8, and I'm going to try to letter.
That's gonna be fun.
I'm gonna try to letter 2 or 3 pages. Yeah, dude, I can't wait. Like page 8 looks awesome, and like page 7 was really cool. It's the book is looking gorgeous, dude. I love this freaking book, and I can't wait.
Yeah, so that sounds awesome because like I've already like loved all the pages that you've colored so far. So I'm looking forward to see that one. And I'm also looking forward to adding all like the lighting effects to these pages where Brian's influence is being felt. Yes. Because the first few pages, obviously, I mean, we get introduced to their D&D avatars and stuff like that. But as he's progressing through the dungeon, you know, more of that presence is being felt, more of that energy, more of that demonic energy that they have. So that's going to be awesome to color in too.
Oh yeah.
But if you have not picked up a copy of Deathless issue 1 and you didn't back the Kickstarter, which I don't know what you're doing if that's the case, but we do have an awesome website called www.wehaveissuespodcast.com where we actually sell copies of Deathless, Play It Again. We have stickers, posters, all that good stuff. So please just, if you haven't, or if you're just finding this like podcast, go check it out at least. Maybe the cover art will sell you. Maybe you want to read some of our stuff.
Yeah, really definitely. Appreciate it. So that's what we're going to do this week. Steven, I love you. I hope we get to hang out again soon. And if I have to be the fifth wheel every time, I will be. It's totally worth it. It's not a big deal. That's what we're doing this week. I'm going to go to open mic night. And then on Thursdays, I host, bad movie night. If you're interested in watching silly movies and making funny comments, like a mystery science theater thing with friends and text. Join us for, good time, bad movie on Twitter. Just go follow us on Twitter. We'll post all the links below and stuff. And you can, hang out with us there. But I don't know. I'm hoping. I feel like I'm gonna have a good week. I'm gonna get over this whole like being a terrible loser in a contest thing. I'm then just being dismissed outright by Kevin Smith. Just not love, like feeling zero love from Kevin Smith. I feel like I'll eventually recover. Like my soul will get over this. Because I have this whole freaking colony. Steven, we have friends here. People actually watch our show, and I just want to say thank you to them. I hope you all know how much we appreciate you. If you made it this far in the episode, please know that we love you. Please know that we're thankful for you. Please know that if we haven't,
we know who you are.
We really do, honestly. But please know that if we haven't shown up for your books or your anything, your movies, your music, anything you make, if you're working on something and you're watching our stuff and supporting our stuff, let us know. Like send us a link. Let us help you and share your stuff wherever we can, because we want to share everything.
I'm just like, with the issues that we have every week just to finish our own stuff, sometimes it's really hard to navigate the entirety of the internet sometimes. So yes, we are always down to help, always down to share. So please don't hesitate to reach out.
Oh yeah.
Especially if you're already in my DMs, like just jump in there and throw a link at me. Come on.
DM me too. What are you guys doing? Like everyone DM me. No. Also before we go, I just want to say congratulations to the team behind the Wolf and the Crow comic. I was so nervous. They only had I think they have 2 days left, and they were not so close to making it, and they just got funded. So it's they only
congratulations.
Have 2 days left, and they just got funded. So I'm yes. We talked about them recently. So I was I just wanted to
you're getting that sweet watercolor.
Oh man, it's so gorgeous. I'm gonna get some art and put it somewhere. I don't have any room on these walls. Over there I do somewhere. So yes. But anyway, thank you all. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. If you're only listening on one of the various podcasting apps, first of all, thank you. Second of all, please just go subscribe to youtube.com/we have issues podcast. It really does help us out. Leave comments and leave reviews wherever you can. Good Pods, iTunes, Spotify, all those fun places. Let people know about our show. It really does help us. But in any case, thank you. Thank you so much. You have anything else you want to say?
No, I love you all very, very much, except for one. I love you all so much, and I hope you all have wonderful lives and continue to have wonderful lives with us, except you. But like, I love all of you. And by you, you know who I mean, don't you? Look at me. You know.
Thank you all. I'm Anthony.
I'm Stevie Wildcard.
And this has been We Have Issues. We'll see you next week. I'm a cool
language
breeze away from this being an show, Steven.
Oh man.
Okay.
And the screen just went white. It was crazy.
For a second, I was like, wait, what? No.